Finally saw the end of a rainbow. Do you know what this means? Gold, gold, gold! What's going on, guys, and welcome back to EmKay. My name is Damien, and today we're looking through interesting posts from interesting subreddits. Incomplete greeting card. Mom, you'd probably be embarrassed by a lot of boasting and bragging about how wonderful you are, so this year you won't hear a word about it. Mom. Oh no, what happened to the dog? I thought the roots of this dead orchid kind of looked like a face hugger. Oh, it does. 100% it does. That is just the aliens are real and they manifest inside the trees to hide out and make sure that their position's not compromised. Gross, real gross stuff. Ranch bottle labeled as light in the US but had to be covered in Mexico and relabeled as excess calories and fat. Oh no. Yeah, not so light, huh? This one can of carrots didn't get color. It's the sad version. You know, you got all your carrots filled with joy and whimsy, then you got the sad carrots. You got the carrots that give you some introspection. Opened my hood and found a cookie in the engine bay. And it's just a straight up like chocolate chip. I thought it'd be like an Oreo or something. No, it's just a straight up partially bitten chocolate chip cookie. Dude didn't even get all of it. I'm surprised it's been hanging out in there for so long too. It's just been maybe it's still good. It's been kept warm inside the car. It's probably still chewy. My doctor let me keep the titanium bars that stayed in my rib cage for 3 years after a surgery for pectus excavatum. Oh, what is pectus excavatum? Can't start saying spells to me and expect me not to be curious. So pectus excavatum is when the breastbone sinks into the chest. Real interesting. So apparently it's a very satisfying surgery because a caved in chest just becomes normal appearing. But it's also one of the most painful things ever. It's very much worth it, but it's arduous and painful. Oven bulb melted from years of use. Oh, you finally started to wear the old thing out, but that's fine. That's a real easy part to replace. And now you got a cool looking bulb. This special rack for empty cans so people can collect them rather for deposit money. Oh, I see. And I'm glad that it's being used. There's people who come by and collect all the metal out of the trash or plastic. So yeah, I totally see this being something to use to just get some extra cash. Makes it real easy too. My kickoff Pringles came with a chip lifter. I like that. That is a real smart invention. The chip lifter, I like this. Pringles needs to invest in this pretty heavily. This is a smart invention. I found a few broken up gravestones in my yard while trying to plant flowers. Oh, and it's involved in the World War, 1917 to 1975. They were in the trenches, quite literally. This playground had a decaying mammoth for the kids to climb around on. Well, that seems great. Oh, wow. Is that a real mammoth? That's not a real mammoth, right? There's no way that's real. It's still got fur on it. That's not a real mammoth. Decaying my ass. That's just wood. That's a wood carving. A slam dunk maker's mark. Ooh, beautiful work. Look at the wax seal on that bad boy. The very detailed imprint on my left leg by my hand while I was sleeping. You've imbued your essence of hand into the leg. I wonder how this happens. So, because sometimes I'll get like lines on me from like if I sleep in a weird way or like if I fall asleep sitting somewhere and like I get like a little line on my leg. But this feels like a really, really big one. You know what I mean? This is a pretty big imprint. So what I'm trying to visualize is how these slept and like they basically sandwiched themselves, but okay, not sure if this is real, but I'm reading that this could be pitting edema. This imprint lasted on OP for over 2 minutes, which is a pretty significant amount of time. So there's a long list of things that could cause this kind of swelling. This could also be like a water thing. It's looking like. Could be like a dehydration thing. What they could do is if they pressed their thumb into their ankle for 10 seconds and it didn't pop right back, then you go to your doc and be like, hey, what's this? Received a package from Home Depot that just had one marker. I didn't order anything from Home Depot, but thanks for the marker. This kid's book made me realize that if mermaids lived amongst us, they'd probably all need wheelchairs. And take a look. Well, no, because they'd live in water, dude. What do you mean they'd all need? No, they're gonna live in water, so there's gonna be no need for wheelchairs. They swim. One of my M&Ms cracked, but there was still a printed M beneath. It looks like 2 candy coatings is what that looks like. That, because it looks just like the brown M&M. So it looks like it was a rival candy coating that lost. The progression of my portable music players. We start out with the Walkman, then the Sony, another Walkman, Nomad Jukebox, then a couple of other look at the progression from cassettes to CDs to digital. It's a timeline of a technology. Orange had a tiny orange inside of it. Orangeception. Look at that little guy right in there. He's hanging out. Found this sign patch sewn inside the right arm of my husband's t-shirt while doing laundry. You've been waiting all this time for a sign. Perhaps this is it. Ooh, maybe, I don't know. Found a pearl in a restaurant Manila clam. Aww, you get to make a wish. Remains of a lizard unfortunate enough to tread near the hinges of one of our doors. Oh, great. Yep, poor guy. Poor guy really got the brunt of the squish. Rest in peace. My local ER did a little decorating for Halloween. Aww, into the CAT scan. Hawaiian monk seal sleeps next to sandcastle on the beach. It's actually one he built. Thank you very much. Don't take credit away from him. I found a shrimp in my lawn. That's a goddamn trimming. That's a goddamn trimming. Hey, get that thing out of there before it starts screaming. It's gonna bring a mimic over there. Oh, you might have some crawl around. Concentrated solar farm I saw on a plane to Vegas. That looks like it's for aliens. That's so cool. What the fuck? That's awesome. I made a simple syrup and it's formed huge sugar crystals on the bottom. Ooh, the purest of them all. I weighed the same as the picture on the box. 129.3, and look at that, 129.3. Is it one of these smart scales that come with like an app? No, it's not. My fiance just showed me this zucchini with words printed on it. Much you like yourself? Well, I like myself quite a bit, but what a massive zucchini, oh my God. It's a behemoth. I have dermatographia, so I can actually draw on my skin. What? Dermatographia, that I've never heard of. So basically, if they lightly scratch on their skin, it causes inflamed lines or welts, and they usually fade away in about 30 minutes. It's just like temporary markings. Huh, that's really, really cool. The downside is that they can't get any tattoos, but I mean, when anything you scratch on your body becomes a temporary tattoo, you got like what? Like Etch-a-Sketch skin? That's crazy. Oh yeah, literally, do you just shake your arm to erase like an Etch-a-Sketch? This fearful employee door to Taco Bell. Danger, never open this door after dark. Always look before you open this door. Your life could depend on it. So I'm pretty sure there's a reason that this door has all these markings on it. This could be something like a robbery after closing through the back door. It's something to be cautious about. It's something to be alarmed of. It is a real thing that happens. It's also, I've been reading, is the standard kitchen door in a lot of chain restaurants. Because gaining entry through the back door is by far the most frequent path, having that little latch there is like, it's to check before you open the door, that little hatch, right? So it really interesting. That door is not gonna get like that door is not being broken into. Went out to a diner and the server gave us a pile of dough to play with. Oh, beautiful. They were gonna throw it in anyway, but now it's Play-Doh for you guys. That's fun. Wonder how many restaurants, I've never seen that happen before, and I've been to a lot of restaurants. I have never ever seen a server just give us a pile of dough. That's so interesting. So usually they do this for like kids to stay occupied in the same way that like crayons and coloring sheets are offered at some places. Really cool. So it was just like a pizza parlor and they had some fun. Japanese farmers sometimes put their picture on their products. This was eggs. And he's real proud of those eggs. Look at that, that's the face of a proud egg farmer. My eyes have cool rings. Those are cool rings, but how did those form? Eyes are one of the most fascinating things to me because of how they work in our body. You know what I mean? So about the rings in these eyes, trying to find what this is about. I'm reading that they might be copper deposits, which is interesting. They're basically like stress ripples. That's not real. Hold on. I'm finding misinformation in real time. These are not stress ripples. This is like iridology, which is not, this is like a pseudoscience. So what are these then? Because that's not even like, I'm so fascinated by this and I'm finding like, so, okay, these aren't Kaiser Fleischer rings, so they can't be copper deposits. What these might be, sorry, I'm discovering this in real time. So These aren't KF rings. Stress ripples are a lie made up by big optics. They might be contraction furrows. They're just bands that occur as the eye grows and ages, and everyone has them. But for some people, they're more visible in some eyes than others. Interesting. Really interesting stuff. Women only parking in Germany. Interesting. Why do they have that? Okay, so in this region, 10% of underground parking spaces must be reserved for women by law. In the Brandenburg region, it's 30%. Oh, I see, because those spaces are closer to exits, better lit, and have more video surveillance. Controversially, the spaces are often larger to help with children. Okay, interesting. Huh. I guess that's a solution to the problem. I do like that space is larger too if they have children, because trying to move kids out of a tight parking space is a pain in the ass. I'm glad they considered that as well. The inside of my gas stove. Yep, got burners that look just like that. Absolutely. I used to work on appliances. I went to school for appliance repair, so this is, you have to get a separate license for this kind of stuff. This spider built a web on my bug trap. The light attracts insects. You know, oftentimes spiders do not really care about what you're doing. If they're hanging out in your house, it's probably because you've got some bugs in there and they're just there for a free snack. And that's what this guy's doing. This guy has learned that bugs are coming to the light, and he said, well, I'm just gonna set up shop here, and just started hanging out. This flower looks like a vagina. Indeed it does. Indeed it does.